Hi guys, Naeemah here. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties. All right, yes. Okay, so we're good. All right, so hi, it's Naeemah LaFond. So today we're gonna be hanging out doing some braids. We're gonna be doing some viral braids. Either these are braids that I've posted on my Instagram and they've gone viral, or just braids that I like to do on clients when I don't really have a lot of time to do their hair, or if I want to do a look on them that doesn't require like curling the hair or anything like that. Okay, so just make sure the lighting is good here. Okay, great. I see the questions coming in on the side, so that's great. All right, so let's get started. Today I'm going to try to teach you guys 6 braids in the time that we have. I'm going to go over staircase braid, Cobra braid, chain link braid, 3D braid, figure 8, and then the crochet braid, which is also called the loop braid, but a lot of people better recognize it as crochet, okay? Because you're literally crocheting with your fingers. I want to do the crochet one first because to me, I think it's the hardest in terms of dexterity. Maybe right next to the figure 8. They're like kind of equal in difficulty. But this first one, the crochet braid, is so good as an updo. This is great for if your client doesn't like kind of like curled updos with like a lot of to do to them. You know, some clients just don't want like your standard updo. Wait, sidebar, working from home, I'm a mom, so if you hear a little munchkin, or if you see her coming into the screen, or if you get a whiff of a little tantrum, that's why. Okay, she's only 3. So yeah, so we're working from home. Let's get started on our crochet braid. I did a nice deep side part on our girl here. Nice deep side part. I love to do this braid coming off to the side, like finishing off like a nice side updo on our mannequin. So that's what we're gonna do here. Hey Tasha. So yes, Tasha's hanging out with us. Any questions, just throw them in the chat and she can answer them for you, or if I see it, I'll answer it myself, okay? So let's move our girl over on this side here and we'll get started with our braid. I'm gonna stand up so that you can get a better look at her. There we are, perfect. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a nice vertical section, all right? I'm gonna hold it out. And the vertical section that I'm taking is about 1 inch wide. You can do 1/2 inch, but 1 inch is usually pretty good. The sectioning size is pretty much based on the density of the hair, and this mannequin's hair is pretty dense, so 1 inch works. If the hair is super fine, you can take a bigger piece because you don't want like a super skinny piece to start off with. So as long as you can start off with like a section that's about this dense, then you can either go from like 1/2 inch to maybe 2 inches to get like that right density, okay? So I'm gonna hold it straight out and I'm smoothing it with my fingers. Smooth, smooth, smooth with my fingers. The reason why you want to do that is because you're going to be doing a lot of looping with this braid, so you don't want your fingers to get caught and tangled in the hair at all. So you want to make sure it's nice and detangled. So we've already applied some product. I'm going to talk to you about which products that I used for which products I'm going to use rather for all of the looks, so all of the braids. All right, so first we have the Supernova Moisture and Shine Cream. This one is gonna be great for clean, super sleek, super clean kind of braids. It gives a nice moisture, it holds the hair together. So this is gonna be great for that. I love using Blockade. Maybe the majority of the time, this is what I'm using on a braid. The reason why is because it's a serum, so it has few pumps in there. It's a serum, so it has some nice slip and glide to it. And you need tons of that when you're doing braids. And it's gonna be perfect for that. So it's gonna be great because it's also super lightweight, so the hair is not gonna feel kind of like heavy or like highly coated at all. It's just a nice glide. So to make your life easier when you're braiding, you definitely want that. Okay, so that is our second product. And our third product we'll be using for braiding is YouTube hands for you, undone texture spray. So this one is going to be great for adding onto braids when you're done braiding them and you want them to have like a nice textured, lived in, kind of a little bit messy look to them. You'll spray the undone texture spray on it and just kind of manipulate it with your fingers a little bit, and you'll get that nice kind of like lived in texture on the hair without having to back comb it. And lastly, what we'll be using is the Vandal volume powder. This one is going to be used for separating and pulling the braid to create like a nice 3D effect on our braids. This is a great technique for, especially for clients who don't have a lot of hair, to kind of make it look like they have a lot of hair. And also a great technique to really make a braid pop and really kind of be a nice statement look. If you leave it as a standard, how it's normally done, it's great that way. But pulling it out a little bit always tends to kind of make it pop a little bit more and give it a nice 3D effect. Especially great for pictures. Okay, so those are our 4 products that we're going to be using for braiding today. So back to our braiding technique. So let's start off with a vertical section here. All right. I'm going to hold it straight out with my left hand. I'm going to come with my right hand with 2 fingers, and I'm going to rotate. Okay? This loop is what starts your braid. So let's look at that again. Hold it out with your left, 2 fingers on your right behind the section, and loop. And when you loop, you should be about maybe 3 inches away from the head, so that when you do your loop, you're literally on the head. Okay? You shouldn't be out here looping because you'll be nowhere near her head. So you want to be right on her head because this should be an on the scalp braid. Okay, a few inches, loop, and we're on the base, right? So our next step right now, is we're gonna hold this tail, right? And then we're gonna take our thumb, put it into the loop, our middle finger out, and we're gonna hold on to the tail. All right, I wanna just do that one more time so you can clearly see it. Hold the hair straight out with your left, 2 fingers from the right, loop it through, thumb in, middle finger out, hold the tail. All right, so that's how you start this braid, with this loop right here. So next, we're gonna add hair to it, okay? So we're gonna take an additional section of hair, and then I'm gonna add it to this tail piece that I have here. I'm going to hold on to that tail piece. All right, we're holding on with 4 fingers, leaving the thumb free. I'm going to take my thumb, push this loop back, and start to pull the loop out. I want it out just enough to get my finger in through the top. See that? Rotate and hold it again. Okay, so I'm going to just do that in one swift movement so you can see it without pauses. Section holding out, 2 fingers, loop, thumb in, middle finger out, hold the tail, add hair. Hold the tail again, pull loop out, thumb in, rotate, grab tail. Okay, that's how you start this. Then we're going to move on to our next section. Add hair, right? hold on to the tail, pull your loop out, thumb in through the top, rotate, grab your tail, add hair, and it's so simple at this point. You're just literally repeating those same steps over and over again. Add hair, hold on to the tail, push the loop back, thumb in, rotate, hold the tail, and you see I do a little pushing back. That's how I'm tightening this braid. Okay, add hair, hold on to the tail here, pull the loop out, thumb in, rotate, push back, add hair. Okay, and you see we're going along the line, along the hairline. So it starts at the top here, right by the ear, and then it's gonna circle around the back. Okay, hold on to the tail, pull the loop out, thumb in, rotate, push back, add hair. Okay, hold on to the tail, pull the loop out, just enough to get your thumb in through the top, rotate, push back, we're gonna add hair. Hold on to the tail, pull the loop out, thumb in through the top, rotate, push back, and then we're gonna add hair. And we're literally just continuing that process. As you go, try to feel for the density of the sections that you're grabbing. You don't necessarily have to grab the same like 1 inch section every time if it starts to feel too thick, because you want to continue the same consistency here. So you want to make sure that what you're grabbing still feels as thick as the first one. So if it feels a little bit too thick, don't grab an entire inch. Maybe half an inch would be good enough too. All right, and you see when I grab, I just like glide my finger over the top of the hair, just glide over the top of the hair, and it's when I get to the bottom that I put my finger deeper into the scalp, and then I get my section. Because I don't want lines in the hair, okay? But you just want to trace and make sure that the hair is coming from right above the braid. I'm never taking hair from here and braiding over here. Everything is coming straight down into the braid, if that makes sense. Okay, hold on to my tail, hold the loop out, thumb in through the top, rotate, push back, and then we're gonna add hair. If you get any like lumps, that's fine, because we're gonna go in and spread it out a little bit more. So don't stop or redo it because of that, because this isn't the final size of the braid. We have to go in and spread it. So don't stop if you have like a little lump just like this. It's totally fine. Okay. And then we're gonna add hair. Hold the section, pull out, thumb in, rotate, push back, add hair. Okay. And it's so easy to continue because the hair feels nice and soft. Thumb in, rotate, push back, add hair. And as you come around the side, the braid should end like low. It shouldn't be high as the other side. It's gonna be like a low, like side chignon. That should be what the finish looks like. Okay, another section of hair to add. Hold the tail. Pull the loop out just enough to get your thumb in through the top. Rotate, push back, add hair. hold on to your tail. Again, when you hold on to that tail, it's those 4 fingers that are holding, and then the thumb is free to, let me turn. The thumb is free to pull this loop back. Okay? Thumb in, rotate, push back. This push back is you tightening the braid. Add hair. Hold the rest of the hair, thumb in, rotate, push back, add hair. Thumb in, rotate, push back, add hair. So for the rest, I'm gonna maybe do like 1 more. Thumb in, rotate, push back, and then this is gonna be the last piece here. What's really cute that you can do is maybe do like a wave going away from the face, so there's like some kind of accent there, okay? But for this, we'll just, for teaching purposes, we'll just grab it, pull the loop out, and then just bring the very ends in, and then we're just gonna secure that just right there, okay? I'm gonna just take a large bobby pin to secure it. Large bobby. And I'm just gonna go inside the braid and just slide the bobby in that way. I'm going inside the braid because I don't want it to show. So that's why we go inside the braid. And I just want to show you what I'm doing with the pen while it's in the braid. So let's say this is, I'll use a black hairpin so you can see it a little bit better. So I'll take the hairpin, close it, put it into the braid, let it open, and then weave, 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 slide. Okay, instead of just taking the pin just like this and sliding it in, because it can easily slide right out. So if we close it and then let it open, so when you close it, that means you're not grabbing any hair outside. So you're closing it so you can pass through the hair, and then you let it open, and then you weave it in and glide it in. Okay, so that's what we did there. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spray it with a little undone. And then we're gonna go in and just spread it out a little bit. So how I spread this is using my thumbs and my pointer fingers, and I'm doing like this kind of motion. Instead of that, I'm doing this because I just want to add texture as I spread them. So that's what we're doing, okay? Texture as I spread. Texture. 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 I mean, you can go even more dramatic if you want to, but we're not going to do that today. Just a little texture. Right, and if, let's say the client's hair is like super fine, you can do the Vandal volume powder. I'm not gonna do it on this one because I want to do a few more braids, but you can do the Vandal on the braid and then do this texture technique that I'm showing you. It'll be super cute, gives the braid a nice shape. And you always want to just kind of go in the order that you started so that you can kind of have a better eye in seeing what needs to be spread out and what doesn't, instead of kind of going out of order. So cute and so easy to do. Great for the I hate updo clients. Thanks, Lori. Don't forget to do the rubbing. Don't just pull. The rubbing is what's creating this little texture that you want there. That nice kind of lived in, easy braided feel. We'll do these. Okay, so pull her back a bit. So that is your braid there, right? Like I said, you want to do like a nice wave here, like a wave going away from the face. You can do that, or you can do maybe like a nice retro pin on the hair. If she doesn't want any like heat styling at all, you can do like a nice retro hairpin. And in the placement of the hairpin, to give it that nice retro feel, the best spot is always where the hairline comes back a little bit. So everyone's hairline just like goes a little bit back at the sides. Where that kind of going back happens is your perfect spot to do like a cute, maybe beaded barrette on the hair to give like a nice retro feel. So you gave her an updo with 0 heat, and it should take like 15 minutes to do this, like done and done. Okay? Any other questions or any questions at all? I'm staring at the screen now, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them up, because I didn't see anything that came before this. No? All right, so let's move on to our next braid. So I'm going to take this one down so we can do our next one. Right. Take her down. Also, the takedown is something to discuss as well, because I feel like a lot of people think that this braid is like a nightmare to undo, when it literally is the easiest thing. Look. You're just taking the tail. Just grab the little tail. So easy. So easy. So easy. So easy. So easy. So easy. Done. And that is your crochet braid takedown. So easy. You guys only knew the comments I would get about this braid when I first started doing it. People were like, well, that's cute, but it's probably a nightmare to take down, or how's a client supposed to take that down by herself? I love it, but I don't think that they can do this at home by themselves. So I ended up doing a takedown of this braid as a video in itself to kind of dispel the nightmare myths about the takedown of this braid. So easy. Okay? All right, so now let's go into the figure 8 braid. I'm gonna grab another mannequin for this one. So I'm gonna grab another mannequin head. This one's kind of long. Maybe. Okay. We'll do the figure 8 on our gal here. What's her name? Oh, she doesn't have a name. We'll do the figure 8 on her. Pull up a chair here so I can sit with you guys. Okay. All right. So, what are we going to put on her hair? So let's start off with, I want to do some Supernova on her hair. So I'm doing, it's probably like a dime size amount of the Supernova on my fingers there. And then combine and just run it through the hair. Make sure you get a little bit close to the base there, the roots, because that's where the braiding action is going to be happening. And then we're going to run our brush through. Okay, so that gave me nice control to the hair, where her hair was just like so clean right before this, and there were like a lot of flyaways. The cream really gave me some nice control to the hair without stiffness, so that we're able to get started with our braid. All right, so for our figure 8 braid, I'm going to turn her like this so you can see. Let me tilt her back a little bit. Perfect. So for the figure 8 braid, I'm going to do it as one big braid. The reason why is because it can be challenging at first just to do a smaller figure 8. So if you're just learning how to do the figure 8, I would always do it just like one big braid, because the bigger the figure 8 that you're doing, the easier it is to do. Okay, the more challenging ones are like the tiny ones. Once you graduate from doing the big figure 8, then you can maybe try the smaller sizes. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take about like a U-shaped, like a horseshoe shaped section that goes from temple to temple right around the crown here. Maybe a little bit less. Don't want it too thick. Okay, and it's not perfect, as you can see. It's just with your fingers, right? And I'm gonna come over here at the top and just brush this section. All right, so let's get started with the braid. So we're gonna take this hair and we're going to split it into 2 sections. But this split is important too. You can split it down the center, right? Or you can split it diagonally. I prefer a diagonal split because it tends to cover any sectioning or parting in the hair. So, I mean, if you want a split down the center, then that's one thing. But if you don't want to see like a parting down the middle, do a diagonal. So you're holding the hair out like this. You're gonna take your finger and you're gonna run it diagonally across the root to split this section into 2 pieces. See our diagonal section? So you have 2, right? And then you're gonna take one of the side pieces, I'll do with my right side, and you're gonna split that into 2 as well. Okay, so now you have 3 sections, right? You have 3 sections. So if you're getting lost already, let's look at that again. Split down the side here diagonally to create 2 sections, right? We have 2 sections, and then split one of the sides. I'll use the right side. You're going to split the right side into 2 as well. So now you have 3 sections. Okay? 1, 2, 3. So this is how you're holding the hair for this braid. You're holding it in a fist, and you have these 2 fingers available. Fist, these 2 fingers available. Okay? Yeah, Supernova is so good. Lip gloss for the hair. I like that. Yes, for the tagline, Lori. Love that. 2 fingers. So you're going to come and you're going to grab the outside section. You're going to bring it under the middle and over the left. It's going to go under the middle section, and then it's going to go over this left section. So to do that, all I have to do is flip my wrist. So now it's over. I'm going to take these 2 pieces and come under and grab. Right? Now I'm going to, let me see if you see that. There you go. Now I'm going to add hair. So I'll run my thumb along the side of the hair to add hair to that traveling piece. Then it's going to go under the left, over the right, grab it, add hair. So that means run your thumb again alongside, okay? You're gonna take this section. I always take it and I bring it right down to the base. That's how you tighten this braid. Take this section down to the base, flip your other hand, fingers go under, grab the traveling piece, run your finger along the side to add hair to that traveling piece. Then bring this down, flip your other hand, come under and grab, add hair. Okay. And we keep our sections nice and skinny so we don't run out of hair early, okay? Hair down, other hand flips, fingers come under and grab, add hair. So that's again just running my finger along the side to gather the hair and bring it over to the traveling piece. Section to the side and down, other hand flips, fingers come under and grab, add hair. Section down, other hand flips, fingers come under to grab, add hair. Section down, other hand flips, fingers come under to grab, add hair. Section down, other hand flips, fingers come under to grab, add hair. And keeping consistent with the amount of hair you add really keeps the braid looking nice and consistent, okay? Section down, other hand flips, fingers go under. This is where people usually get tripped up with this braid. This flip and then go under. You don't flip and then grab from the top. You flip, go under, and then you grab that piece and add hair to it. Okay. Finger, hair down, other hand flips, fingers go under to grab, add hair. Okay. Hair down, other hand flips, fingers go under to grab, add hair. Fingers down, other hand flips, fingers go under to grab, add hair. Down, flip, under, grab, add hair. Down, flip, under, grab, add hair. Down, flip, under, grab, bigger piece than that. And you're going to just continue until we get to the bottom. I'm going to show you that as we make our way towards the bottom, our sectioning starts to angle up, okay? So instead of going across like up here, as we get over here, it starts to angle up, okay? So if you see that happening, that is supposed to happen, okay? Down, flip, under, grab, add hair. You see? this is the direction of the grabbing that we're doing. Down, flip, under, grab, add hair. Down, flip, under, grab, add hair. Down, flip, under, grab, add hair. So now that we've grabbed all of the hair, we're going to just continue the figure 8 motion, which is going under and over, under and over. Okay, until this piece can no longer do that, which is right about now. And then we're going to take the hair and we're going to add a little bit of hair to that little traveling piece so it can continue being able to wrap around. So as we wrap around, we're adding hair to it. We're just taking from the bigger sections, add a little bit of hair, and continue wrapping. A little bit of hair, continue wrapping. A little bit of hair, continue wrapping. Continue wrapping, continue wrapping. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to just turn it into a standard 3-strand braid at this point. So I just took the 3 sections, added a little bit more hair to the skinny one, and then we're going to 3-strand braid it. Okay. Braid, braid, braid. Okay, we're braiding all the way to the end. And then I'm just going to secure it with a little rubber band. If I can find one. Okay, there we go. Lost that one. Find another one. So I'm just going to secure this very end here. With our rubber band. Okay. So now we're going to put it up into our updo. All right. Oops, I just literally slid that rubber band down. Her hair feels super soft and glidey because of the blockade. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some undone texture spray just to stiffen her hair up a bit so that the pins and everything else, also maybe just a tiny bit of Vandal, just so our rubber bands and our pins don't glide out. Yeah, it has a nice like grit to it, so that's a lot better. Perfect. Okay, so now we are going to put it up, but before I do that, I want to add a little bit more texture to the sides. So I'm just going to spray the sides with undone texture spray. Spray the sides, spray the top, spray the braid. Okay. And I'm going to come in and literally just taking my hand and I'm just going to rub it along the sides here. Because I'm trying to get this kind of airy, kind of fly away-y kind of action. Yes, fly away-y, it's a word. I'm just taking my hands, you're rubbing it on the sides in the direction of away from the face, right? But you're just breaking up that clean straight line to the back so that it has a little bit more texture to it. Okay, and up at the front too. So the front, I take my fingers, run it to the root, and then close my fingers on some of the hair. Just to break that up a bit too. All right, if we're doing a textury braid, you don't want super sleek, clean, and then this braid is like a lot of texture and flyaways to it. You want to make sure that there's some continuity. So you should add the texture to the sides and the top that you're going to be adding to the braid itself. Okay, so before I put her up, we're going to go in and spread her out. Same technique that we did for the loop braid. We're going to do here. Run our fingers on the sides. See, just that little action is just really bringing the braid to life. Okay. Again, this is all we're doing. Hair between our fingers, like this. I wish I could see you guys and talk to you so that we could have some like interaction. This working from home, teaching from home definitely takes some getting used to. Cause it's like zero feedback. Okay, I just have to trust the process, right? So I just go run my fingers down the middle just for that added texture. Okay, now it has nice texture to it. Now we're gonna pin it up. So I'm just pushing her down. I'm gonna take the tail of the braid here. Have my pin ready. The tail of the braid, we're gonna flip it to double it and then double it again. And that should land it right under the braid itself. Tuck that under. Your hairpin, place it on the base of the hair. So you're not placing it into the braid first. You're placing it under the braid first to grab some of the hair at the base. And then you're gonna come in, grab the braid, and then go back to the base, braid, base, braid, base, braid. So to sew it onto the hair, okay? So it's pretty secure in there because we kind of sewed it with the hairpin. You only need one. I mean, you can go in with smaller ones if you have any like lumps or bumps that you need to adjust, but one should do the trick, okay? You can also, pick her up. You can also do like, maybe like a nice little bump up here. You can do like a victory roll in the front if you want to really do something that is like a little bit more interesting, more out there. But for like your standard everyday style, straight to the back with some texture spray, it's a great way to send a client out of the salon if you don't have time to blow her out or to do any like heat styling. This is like a great, like, she looks cute, she looks pulled together, she looks like she got her hair done, and you can send her out. Amazing after a color service too, right? So that is our figure 8 braid. So we did crochet and figure 8. Let me cross this out. All right. So the rest of the braids that we have are kind of like ponytail braids. So I'm gonna take this one out. Actually, we could just leave this in. And I'll just grab the other mannequin head for the other braids. Okay, leave her there. And then we'll grab this girl here, because she has a ton of hair, so great for braiding. Awesome. All right. So again, the product that we need for a glide. The next braid that we're going to be doing is our staircase. Actually, no, we won't do the staircase braid yet. Let me see. Chain link. No, we'll do our Cobra braid. So the next braid we're going to do is the Cobra braid. because it's still kind of like down and off to the side, similar to the crochet braid. So since our hair is already down and easily off to the side, we'll go straight into the Cobra braid for this one. Okay. So I'm brushing the hair right into my hand, off to the side. This braid, we're doing it to the side. You can do it straight down to the back. You can do it in whatever position, but the thing is to braid it in the position that you want it to exist in. So I wouldn't braid it back here and then try to bring it over to the side, okay? I want to braid it to the side if that's where I want it to live. Does that make sense? All right, nice and smooth. All right, let me come around to the side here. So let's start with our sectioning off of our strands. So you're holding the hair like this. You're gonna do 3 sections. You're gonna do a middle section and you're gonna do 2 thicker side sections, okay? And always think about your density. So the middle section is going to be pretty skinny, and the 2 side sections are going to be your thicker pieces. Okay, so pretty skinny and thicker. So once I get the 3, I kind of separate it off into my hand just like this, and then you want to go in and feel for the density. Take a moment to touch the hair and see, like, okay, you want these 2 to feel similar in density. This one you're not going to be taking from or adding to it at all, the center one, so don't worry about it matching the sides. It shouldn't. It should be skinnier than the 2 side sections, okay? So mainly what I'm looking at is the density of these 2 sides, and this one feels not as dense as this. So I'm going to take some hair from the middle to add to this. Take some hair from here. Okay, now we're pretty good. So these 2 side sections are similar in density, and the middle is skinnier. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to turn her down a little bit so you can see better. Okay, perfect. All right, so what you want to do is you want to take a small piece from the back of the right. You're going to bring it around the front, under the middle, and you're going to combine it with the left. You're going to take a small piece from the front of the left, swing it to the back, bring it around, go over the middle, combine it with the right. And that's what we're going to just continue to do as we braid here, okay? Holding the sections, small piece from the back, bring it around to the front, and seeing how I grab it like that. Under the middle, combine it with the left. Small piece from the front of the left. When I say the front, you want like the inner corner of the front, not the top. And then see, I'm just combining that traveling piece, and then I added like a little small piece to it. So this is the traveling, a little small piece to make one. Swing that to the back, grab it with your fingers, over the middle, combine it with the right. And the entire time I'm doing this braid, I'm really making sure that my fingers stay like notched right under the strands here. That's how you keep the braid nice and secure, nice and tight. Okay, again, I'm gonna go from the back, swing it to the front. So what I'm grabbing is that traveling piece and a piece of new hair. Okay, under the middle, marry to the left. Small piece from the inner front corner, swing it to the back, grab it, over the middle, marry to the right. Back of the right, swing it to the front, under the middle, marry to the left. Okay, front of the left, swing it to the back, over the middle, marry to the right. Back of the right, swing it to the front, under the middle, marry to the left. And you see how I continue to just swap the hair between my fingers? Because at all times you want at least these two side sections to be held, and you want to use your pointer and your thumb to help carry the pieces over and under. Okay? Small piece from the front of the left. Always make sure I don't grab too much because you want to keep that consistency. Swing it to the back, over the middle, marry to the right. Back of the right, swing it to the front, crochet braid, 2 big braid, yep. Under the middle, marry to the left. Front of the left, and it's always that front inner corner. So when I say inner corner, I mean like right in here is what I'm grabbing to bring over, because what I'm trying to do, let me show you. I'm trying to create this kind of wraparound effect. We want this to happen. So if we take hair from the top here and bring it to the back, nothing happens. We get no wraparound effect. So you want to make sure you bring from the inner corner, and when you bring it from the inner corner like this and you swing it over the front, then you have this nice wraparound effect. Okay, over the middle, marry to the right. And that's the same thing with the back as well, because if we just came from the side, we wouldn't get our wraparound effect. We need to come from the back to get this to happen. Okay, under the middle, marry to the left. Now for this, you can stop here and just kind of like wave the ends. That could be a look. But just keep in mind that, just kind of like similar to the figure eight, not the figure eight, the fishtail braid, it takes a few inches in for you to really see that this braid is coming together. So you have to really try to have some patience with this braid. It's worth the wait for sure, because it looks so intricate. All right. And remember to always keep those fingers under there, because if you don't, you'll have gaps in the braid between these strands here. You'll have gaps, and you'll think that you're not getting the braid right, but it's not that. It's just that the braid is loose and it's not tight, so you don't fully see the pattern. And the best way to see that pattern is to always, like I just go from the back under and keep my fingers just right under the two sides here, just so it doesn't start to slip open. Okay, inner front corner, swing it to the back. And when you see how I swing it to the back with my thumb, and then these two fingers are here to grab it, like each hand is helping the other. Over the middle, marry to the right. Back of the right, swing it to the front. Under the middle, marry to the left. Front of the left, swing it to the back. Over the middle, marry to the right. Back of the right, swing it to the front. Under the middle, marry to the left. Front of the left, swing it to the back. Over the middle, marry to the right. Back of the right, swing it to the front. Under the middle, marry to the left. And you're just continuing that pattern. Just making sure that you stay consistent with your pieces. All right? Just consistent with that pattern. I'm gonna go maybe about another inch down before I stop. Okay, we're just wrapping around and always making sure that both sides, these two sides are always being held onto. Okay, under the middle, marry to the left, front of the left, swing it to the back, under the middle, excuse me, over the middle rather, marry to the right. Maybe just do 2 more before we conclude. Okay. 1, and then 1 more. And then I'll stop here. Okay, so we'll stop right here. I'll take this traveling piece and I'll hold on to it. And then I'm gonna come in just like this, holding it with your hand, traveling piece in your fingers, spray a little undone. And then I'm gonna come in, I'm just gonna spread the sides here. Same technique that we were doing before, but you're not gonna grab each piece at a time like we did with the last braids. You want to just grab the entire section. Okay, and I also just rub the middle just so that it has some texture to it as well. So we've spread the braid out. Okay, we add texture to it. And now I can secure the base of this braid. We're gonna take a little rubber band. Band. See how the traveling piece is still in my hand? I'm gonna just wrap it around the base a few times. And then I'm gonna take my ponytail holder, my little rubber band, and wrap it around that. Okay. I'm gonna push up a little bit. Now we're ready to put this up into our updo. So it's always great to just look at your model and see what works best. Is it pushing it back? Is it putting it back this way? Let's see. I kind of like the flipping it back because I think that looks more flattering on her and you can really see the detail from the front, so I like that. So we'll do that. I'll just flip it back a little bit. So we just took it like this, flip it over, and we're gonna do a hairpin there. We're gonna go right where our little rubber band is. You're gonna grab that rubber band and use that as a hook, and then we'll weave this hairpin into the hair. It's nice and secure in there. I'm gonna do one more. So I'm using these long 3-inch hairpins. The next one we'll do up at the top here. So you see I go into this like little tunnel with a closed hairpin, then let it open, and then weave, weave, weave. And then slide it in, right? So that's pretty secure, that's not going anywhere. Now we're ready to put up the rest of the hair. So for this, I love to add some undone texture spray. If I weren't doing other braids on her, I would add the Vandal volume powder, but we are, so I won't add the Vandal. So you're doing these other braids. So I'm gonna just go in, and I'm just going to hold the hair. I don't know if you can see that. But hold the hair out with my hand. I'm just gonna go in and just push up with my other hand. just for a little bit of texture. All right, a little bit more undone right there. And then what we can do is we're just gonna twist this into the hair. Okay, so you see how you hold the end and you're just twisting it into the base there. So it can just kind of blend in with whatever you have going on already with the braid, so it doesn't stand out too much. So it has the texture just like the braid, and it has looping just like the braid. Okay, let's look at that again. Hold it out, thumb in, push, push, and remember this is not too intense. Like literally just 2 or 3 times, and then you hold that end, twist it up, and then we're just gonna pin that in. Okay, we're gonna use again long hairpins. I'm gonna come behind this section here, and then I'm going to weave in. Okay, another pin behind the section. So I never pin on, like I'm trying to pin this down or trying to pin this down. I never go directly where I'm trying to pin. I go behind it. That's how you conceal pins effectively. Okay. And I'm gonna take a tiny one for this little tail piece out here. I'm just gonna tuck it in as well. I'm just trying to tuck it in, tuck it in. Okay, small hairpin. And I'm just gonna take some of this hair here and swing it over those tiny pieces and just fluff out. Okay. I want to make sure none of our pins are showing. So I always go in with my fingers and rub the hair that's over where any pins were sitting, just to make sure I have 0 pins showing. All right, and there is your Cobra Braid updo. So easy, again, a heatless style that you can do on someone. If you want more of like an updo-y feel, you can do a few waves here at the front going away from the face that you'll do in advance, and then you'll bring all of the hair to the side just like you did and braid that hair as well. And when you're trying to put the hair up, you'll just kind of like tug at your waves just to make sure that they're sitting nicely, framing the face. Okay, so that's your Cobra Braid. I'm going to take this one down so that we can move on to our next braid here. So I'm just keeping track of our braids. So we did our crochet braid, we did figure 8, we did Cobra, and we have 3 more braids left to do. Let me just take this down. You see, we don't have like a million pins in here. That's what I love about my pinning with a purpose technique that I teach. If you guys want to see more of that, that is in one of our foundational classes. So you can learn more about like updo techniques with that class and how I do all of my pinning. Okay, so the takedown of the Cobra is also controversial, where people think it's like a huge situation, where it's not. Literally so easy, so easy, so easy, so easy. Literally so easy. Easy, 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 easy. Done, right? Nothing easier than that. So easy. So we're gonna just go in and brush her. Brush. I'm just gonna put her into a pony for the next 3 braids because they are ponytail braids. We're getting through this pretty fast, I guess, because I don't see you guys and can't really talk. But yeah. So I'm just putting it into ponytail. Nothing fancy, we're just doing your standard ponytail here. Okay. Holding the hair nice and tight. We're gonna go in with a bungee. You can see it, there it is, the bungee. Pick it up right there at the top, holding on to it with my hands there. And then we're gonna go around to secure. Around. And secure where it's tightest. There we go. Then of course you want to cover the ponytail holder itself. So we'll take a small piece from the bottom here, and then we will cover. Just wrapping the hair around. Standard technique, right? And then we're just going to secure it with a small bobby. I'll just put the hair in the pin, wrap it around at the tail twice, swing it around to the bottom, and glide it into the ponytail, under the ponytail. It's like super easy. Okay, so now we can get started with our braid. So let's do the chain link. Maybe let's do the 3D braid first, right? Let's do the 3D. So it's 3 sections. Three sections of hair. Right, so these are our 3 sections. Should be equal in density. Okay, so I'm always like going back and forth between them just to make sure they feel equal in density. Okay, now we're there, right? So what you want to do, you're gonna hold the hair. This side section, you're gonna make a hole here on the side, like right down the center, right? And then you're gonna take your fingers and you're gonna grab the middle section, and then you're gonna pull it through that little hole that you created. Okay, again, you have 3 sections, a hole on the side. See how your thumb comes in? So you have this hole here, your thumb and your pointer finger. Grab the center piece and pull it through that hole. Again, the other side. Grab the center piece and pull it through the hole. And you're just gonna continue. It's literally the easiest braid. Grab the center piece, pull it through the hole. Grab the center piece, pull it through the hole. So you're just making a hole with your finger, just like that. You're gonna grab that center section and bring it through the hole. Okay? And the key here is making sure that the hole that you're making is at the side, not at the top. Okay? You want to do at the side. Grab the center, pull it through. At the side, center, pull it through. At the side, open, 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 pull the center through. And then we can just secure the bottom here. Okay, and then we're gonna come and we're just going to do our puffing technique. Where we spread the braid. You want to see all of the loops coming through. I love this braid because it looks so juicy because of the 3D aspect where it looks like there's a braid in the back and a braid in the front. This is a great summer braid where you want your hair done, but you don't want your hair done. You don't want like heat styling, but you want something cute. This is a great braid for that. So you can see it looks like this from the side, but then from the back, it just looks like your standard 3-strand braid. And then from the side again. Okay, so that one's pretty easy. I think that's the easiest of all of them, maybe. The 3D braid. Super easy, great summer braid, easy to do, 3 strands. Everyone's familiar with braiding in 3 strands. So this is definitely like an easy one to do. Okay, we'll take this one down. And then we'll do our chain link braid. Okay, so the chain link braid can tend to be, you know what, we'll leave the chain link braid for last because I feel like people tend to have some problems with that one, like dexterity wise. So we'll leave that one for last. We'll do our staircase braid next. Staircase braid, so easy, super easy peasy. I love to just do it as like an accent and not necessarily like staircase the whole braid. Because I mean you can, but then I feel like it looks a little it looks like it's for like little girls, but it looks more like adult, grown up, kind of cute if you just do like an inch or 2 of the braid. When you do the whole braid, it winds like a staircase, so it looks a little I don't know, maybe just like a little too young for an adult woman to wear. So just an inch or 2 of it is perfect. Okay, so how to start this braid? Super easy. You're gonna hold the section of hair out, right? I'm gonna take this piece of hair here at the side. I'm gonna do kind of like a chunky piece. You can do super skinny. It just depends on the look you're going for. But I'm gonna do chunky just because I want to make sure you guys can actually see it. Okay. And then I'm gonna take it. You're gonna swing it to the back, just like that. Let me turn her a little bit more. See that? So that's the side piece here. You go to the back and then you're gonna loop it. So there's like a loop here and then the strand here. And then you bring it forward and pull it through that strand. See? Super easy. Now you're gonna add a section of hair to this strand. Now you might be thinking like, how big of a section? You just feel for the density and you're looking for it to feel as thick as the first strand, all right? Now the first strand is not as thick anymore because you didn't wrap it around already. It lost some of its density. To put that back in, you're going to add hair to it, but just make sure it feels like the first strand that you took. Now you're gonna do that again. Swing it to the back, bring it towards the front, pull through. Okay? Again, add hair. Swing it to the back. Pull it through your loop in the front. Pull through. And I'm just going to do one more. Okay, taking your hair here, add it to the strand that's out to the side. Swing it to the back. Pull it through to the front. And I love to just stop there because I think that looks just cute like that. It has like a nice accent to it. You can do some waves here in the back to really just kind of jazz up this ponytail, or just keep it nice and straight. Personally, I love like a straight look on this hair because I feel like waves or curls and the braid might be doing a bit much, because the braid and the sleek pony are just like a nice statement in itself. So I just kind of love to stop there. And then we'll go in and secure with a ponytail holder or a little rubber band. Nice little rubber band is good. So I'm putting a rubber band at the end of this braid, right? And what you do is you just push it up, push the rubber band up under the last, like under the last wraparound to hide it, like you don't see it anymore. See that? So you put the rubber band on there and then you push it up under the last wraparound that you did. And then you can go in and just stretch the hair up. And it's like totally hidden. You don't see it. And then you have like a nice little, cute little accent braid there. She's not doing too much, but she's doing enough, right? Like I said, you can go all the way down, but keep in mind that this braid should wind around as you go down. If you don't want it to wind around as you go down, you have to make sure that you keep grabbing hair from directly under the last piece. Because normally you would grab hair under the last piece, and as you do it, you're gonna staircase around. That's where it gets its name. Because it's like, see how we started here but we ended here? It kind of staircases around the entire braid like that, all the way around. But if we don't want that effect and we just want this, just keep in mind that it will slant a little bit. If you don't want that slant, just every time you go and grab a piece, just grab it a little bit more from behind. Okay, so there she is with her pony, and that is, what are we on? That is the staircase. Okay, so our last one is going to be our chain link braid. So I'm going to just take this one down. I'm going to take down our rubber band. Again, super easy to undo. Undo, undo, undo. Done and done. So for our last braid here, I'm going to come in, run my brush through it, and now we're going to take this hair and do 4 sections. Okay, so how do we do that? We're going to take our hand and we're going to just put it under the ponytail, run your fingers up, and then that should give you 4 sections like this. But the 4 sections that it's giving you are not going to be equal in density. Like, look how skinny this one is. What I'm going to do is give hair to the skinnier pieces. Okay, feel through. Okay, this one feels a little skinny. I'm going to add to it. The goal is for all of them to feel similar in density. That's the goal. Okay, for all of them to feel similar in density. Okay, so now we've done that. So for this braid, you're going to be using 2 hands, right? Obviously. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the hair from this hand and bringing it to your other hand here. So it's going to travel from this hand to this hand. So all the hair is going to be on this hand at one point, and then all of it is going to be on this hand at one point. So I'm going to show you what we're doing. First, we want to name the sections. So this is first, second, third, and last. You're going to take the second strand and the last strand. We're going to put the second strand here, the last strand here, and then the other two, which is the first and the third, we're going to flip our hand over and we're going to land them into this section and this section of my hand. So second strand, last strand, flip, and land. So it's easier to see it, so let's go. Second strand in that first notch, last strand in that second notch, the other two strands flip and land. Okay? Second strand, and we're just going over to the next hand here. Second strand, last strand, flip and land. 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 And you can see how it's like, it looks like a chain link, and it's so easy to do as long as you follow that pattern. Second strand, last strand, flip the other two and land it. It's just going from one hand to the next. Okay? We have our very end here. So we still have our 4 pieces, as you can see. I just like to just continue going until I can't anymore. Maybe it's like 2 more times. Second strand, last strand, flip and land. Excuse me. Second strand, last strand, flip and land. And this one got really skinny, so I think I'll just end here. So I'll just stop, and I'll put a rubber band at the base of it right here. And then I'm going to just go in with some undone texture spray on it. And then we're going to go in, and we're really just going to really make the braid pop with our fluffing technique. Okay? You want to make sure you're getting all of the notches of your chain link. You want to really be aggressive with the rubbing so that it really gets nice and chunky. It just looks so good when you really fluff it out well. And again, it's not pulling, it's rubbing. Okay? See, we start from the top and we work our way down. Work your way down. Work your way down. Work your way down. Make sure you're not missing anything. Okay, and you can go in and you can conceal the end where the rubber band is. Just taking a long piece of that hair, wrapping it around your rubber band. And just take a tiny bobby pin to secure it out of the way. I love to just really make sure that the braid looks like super seamless and professional. Clients coming into a salon to get their hair done, so we don't want it to look like they did it themselves. So it's those little tips and tricks that really give a braid a nice professional feel. So we did the same technique that we did earlier, where we added the hair into the bobby pin, right, and wrapped the end around twice and then glided up. Okay, and there you have her, your chain link braid, right? I love, just a little quick tip before I go, I love like a little height. I love when we see the ponytail happening here, but there's like a little lift like this. I feel like it looks super flattering in the profile. So if your client's hair is like super fine and it's not giving that, I don't know if you see it, but this little lift right there, you can go in with a little bit of Vandal just to make sure that this lift happens. Okay? And that's my story. I'm gonna switch around to the front here. Thank you guys for spending the afternoon with me. I feel like we spent a lot of time together. Oops. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you got some braiding techniques that you can take back to the salon. Again, braiding techniques are really good to just really give like a nice cool look without any heat styling having to be done. We're probably going to be doing a lot of non-heat styling kind of looks because of the situation that we're all in. I know you guys, your salon's closed today. I'm so sorry to hear that, but thank you so much for watching. Take this time to practice, 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 and just be ready for when the salons open back up, okay? Thank you guys again. Thanks, Tasha, for moderating. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Bye.